Hey everybody, and welcome to a new series of videos that I'm calling The Cut. Now, I've set myself a challenge this year to reduce my game collection by 25%. Now, what does that mean? That means I've currently got 162 around about base games in my collection. So if I reduce it by 25%, then by the end of the year, I need 121.5 games in my collection. Let's say 122 games in my collection. So I've got to cut some out. Why am I doing this? Well, point one, I don't play games as much as I used to. I don't get the opportunity to play games, sadly. So there's a lot of games collecting dust. And when I do want to play games, then they need to be the right games for me and my group. Secondly, as you can see, my game collection is overflowing. My space I've got to store games is full. So really, I haven't got much choice but to make some space so I can get some brand new, exciting games in. So I'm not pre-scripting this. I'm just doing it almost like a live, but I'm doing it recorded for the purpose of being able to add graphics or maybe make a bit of editing if I do something really silly, like run out of breath, like I have just now. So we'll do a series of 10-minute videos going through my collection, starting from space one. And then we're going to have three categories. One is keep it. Secondly is cut it. So I can cut it by getting rid of my collection, whether that be through selling it or giving it away or chuck it in the bin. It's up to me, as long as it's either gone from my collection by New Year's Day or it's listed somewhere for sale. For example, on Board Game Geek Marketplace or on a selling Facebook page. So that's the criteria out of the way. Let's begin. Let's work through my collection, and it'd be really interesting to see if you agree with what my decisions are in the comments. So let's start with Cube 1. Cube 1 has got the games that need to lay down because their bits will fall out if they are stored vertically. And we've got Takanoko. Now, this game has been in my collection for a very long time, and I know it's got a lot of non-gamers into gaming. It's quite a good option for new players, although in a couple of places the rules are a bit slightly complicated for a gateway game. I think they've actually recently, or at some point in the past, changed the rules, so I'm playing slightly old rules in this game. Anyway, I like it, but is it going to stay in my collection? No, I think this one is going to leave my collection along with its expansion, Chibis, which I've got. No point in hanging on to the expansion if I'm not going to keep the game. So I'm going to put this for sale, or maybe even give it away to someone. Next, we've got Concordia. I really enjoy this game. Trading in the Mediterranean game. Playing cards, you have a set of cards and you play them down to do different actions. Really simple to teach, really fun to play. This is absolutely staying in my collection. That's not going anywhere. Next, we have Lords of Waterdeep. I've also got the Scoundrels of Skullport expansion. Lords of Waterdeep is a D&D themed worker placement game, and again, this is a game that's got, I know, a number of people into gaming. I really enjoy it. You know, people have tried to do better mechanisms around worker placements, but there's just something about this game that I really enjoy. It's really special to me. Yes, I don't play it too much, but I'll work on fixing that. So that is staying in my collection. Let's move over. What are we going to look at next? Right, next we have got Clans of Caledonia. The first time I played this game, I didn't like it at all. I just didn't quite get what I was meant to do. Then it came available on Board Game Arena, played it a lot, been enjoying it. As a result, I bought it. However, I've found that I don't quite get into the real kind of the crux of the game, the using the changing values of the prices of the products to get more money or to block people from doing well. I don't really get into that almost like stocks and shares part of the game. So I'd like to play this. I've not played this physical copy. I've played it on Board Game Arena. I've played a friend's copy. I've opened this copy, but sadly never played it. So I want to get it to the table. So as a result, what I'm going to do is put this in the maybe pile. So the maybe pile, what that is, rather than ones I'm going to cut or ones I'm going to keep, this is the maybe pile is towards the end of the year. If I haven't succeeded in reducing my game collection down to 122 games, then I'm going to look at this again, see if I've played it, see what I want to do about maybe cutting this. So I'm going to aim to play it, see if I enjoy it. If I enjoy it, it might move into the keep pile. If I don't enjoy it, playing it with my normal game group, it might end up moving into the cut pile, which will be a real shame, but I'm going to have to make some hard decisions. Next, we have 2 Sherlock Holmes games. I kind of enjoy playing them. They're very different to a lot of the other games in my collection. They are like a detective game, and you get to read through newspapers to look for clues, and then there's a map that you have to find locations on, and there's a directory, and you can go and visit places in London and interview people. It's a really nice kind of almost role-playing game. I enjoy playing it, but I am so bad at it. So I'm going to keep this in my collection for now. I think these are also going to get listed as maybe. So let's see if I can get them played by the end of the year. If not, then it might be time for these games to find another home. And next we have Grand Austria Hotel. This is a game that can play up to 4 players, yes, but is recommended at 2 because of the time it takes for your go to come back to you. So I played it a couple of times at 2 players. I'm terrible at it, but I do enjoy getting the resources to use to make the guests happy, and then when the guests are happy, they move into the hotel, and there's a lot of different layers where you can score points. Yeah, this is a game that I have enjoyed playing, so yeah, this is going to stay in my collection. Next, we have one of the Pandemic games, and this is Pandemic Iberia. Now, don't want to do a spoiler for you, but I prefer this to standard Pandemic. It's a cooperative game, and what I like about this game is its interesting use of railways. So you can move slowly around an area, but you're adding railways, and then once the railways are laid, then you can move quickly from city to city. I like that. There's also a nice interesting mechanism with water, where you can purify water in the area, and that almost acts like a breaker to the pandemic. And there's also parts of this game which I haven't really explored so much. So there's more in this game that I haven't touched on. I've just played like the really basic rules, but there are extra cards and ways of playing that seem exciting. So this is going to stay in my collection, and I'm hoping to play this more and more. So as I work through this collection, I should say that I'm kind of just going off the cuff. So I haven't really thought about this. I'm just reading a game, I'm making a decision on whether I'm going to keep it or not. So that's my first episode. I'm going to keep doing more and more episodes. And as you can see, there are lots of games to cover, but we're running out of time. I want to keep these to about 10 minutes for each video. Anyway, please let me know what you think about the games below, about what I've said about the games, whether you agree, whether you're interested in taking any games off my hands. That can be arranged. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.